I'm going to play a given video from what happened yesterday at Bungoma. Something that has steered the country into a lot of discussions and, affecting a lot of feelings and even decisions and actions all over. So let's watch this.
Hata Biblia Yesu anasema, mkono wako wa kushoto ukipeana, wa kulia usijue. It is actually sacrilegious and a monstrous ignominy for somebody to stand here and claim that he was sending our father money for treatment. That is high-level insolence. None papa kaba waru miraho papa chisilingi chelefu chibili kule sukari bila kusaba ohemano no bololi wawe changa papa chisena chaho musilika. That is irretrievably arrogant, distasteful, and unacceptable. Heshima, sisi mkituona huyu Musalia, huyu Lusaka, hawa wabunge, they help people each and every day. All these people, huyu Lusaka, gavana wetu, alikuja hapa na ng'ombe 5, alileta hapa shilingi milioni 1 ya mazishi, amesimama hapa, mumemsikia akisema alileta kitu hapa? Tafadhali tuheshimiane. Omanye no banembelekeu onyawaro ngasi muchuli. Ewe papa hawano tamba. Mala wacha kusoko. Mala wakana na gavana Lusaka wako chisilingi chelefu chibili. Mala wakula hayama. Ne wole ngobolo mukasi wole takalusaka andi kukikone. Kone. Abewe mzee Jazina. Mzee Atola amekuwa hapa. Mzee Gumo yuko pale. Mzee Noah Wekesa yuko pale. Hawa ni wazee wa heshima kwa jamii yetu. Hata basoleli zizine mumbo na muri. Nobone khisi ngofu kusu Kongo. Abayayi bacha kimisuniking.
Right, so I've just cut a clip from that. But from what I saw, this is WETANGULA speaking in a funeral, the mother's funeral. So you remember what he said, and I don't know what you think about his speech. Possibly NATEMBEYA might have messed by saying that he assisted in the treatment of the old lady or whatever it is. Clearly, from what I think, it's just that when he stood to speak, I hope those who watched saw what happened. There was like a jeering team, possibly prearranged. This happens. This is Kenya for us. So it was like he felt instantly to have been rebel and wanted to show people that I'm related to this family and I don't have any personal issues. Now, when we look at WETANGULA, is the Speaker of the Nation, and being a person who was bereaved, I don't believe it was a platform for him to come up with a very huge Oxford Dictionary abuses to describe who NATEMBEYA was. And from observation, he kept switching from English to mother tongue. Using words like emberekeu, saying the okundi and all those, like even at the end declaring that somebody like NATEMBEYA would not live for long if he doesn't consult people like Atwoli and is it Waluke and the Kakamega governor. Of course, WETANGULA, one thing you should know, the Kakamega governor is not doing anything. If you go back to Kakamega, people are pointing back to the previous regime. They are not seeing anything having happened. You can actually see the Buhungu Stadium has stalled. We have the roads on Kakamega North, like from Malava to Navaholo. We have another route from West Sugar Company down to Bohakunga and all the way. Then we have another one from Matiha. There is another from Bushiri. All those roads are still earthen, and so many inside there. Now I wonder why the governor did not make a move to even change this, because previously it's like the previous governor did a lot on the other Kakamega side, because the roads, those sides are tarmacked. But people on Kakamega North side are suffering. So giving an example like that governor, whatever he did, it's not worth. Now when we come back to Waluke had a maid scandal, and it just disappeared. Wherever it went to, we don't know. So no wonder he can be clapping for the current regime. Now when we come to the president, Didmas, Didmas has his own ills. Like you remember, just after elections, he shot somebody. And he might be progressive, but there are negative things about him, of course. Now, there might be friends. You said one of them had helped you 1 million and also 5 cows. Of course, you mentioned finally. And not everybody goes talking about what they have done. And the Bible says what the right hand does, the left hand shouldn't know. But I want to ask you, every time the government goes somewhere, even for Harambee donations, don't they mention what they brought? One thing when I was listening to that speech I didn't like is the aspect of now beginning to abuse. Because as a leader, you are just playing the same as NATEMBEYA. Yeah, so what you are doing is nothing far from what NATEMBEYA was doing. Because when you begin abusing somebody in public, you equally squat to their level. People are laughing there, some were cheering the Bungoma mafias. But I believe if anybody has gone through what all of us are going through, the hardships in Kenya, the difficulties in even acquiring employment, the fact that some people, they have gone so far, but when you look back, like I expected that this Webuye company should be thriving. When you look at Miasi, now that we have Mudavadi and we have WETANGULA, it should be thriving. Yeah, look deep into the roads in the western end. Whatever NATEMBEYA was saying, and I'm not a supporter of any of you currently. I've not made any decision, but what I see as a content creator and a critic and somebody who has researched and traveled, I think in western we are doing badly. And looking at the statement again, Atwoli saying that being a leader of unions, he has seen people abducting themselves. It's a very sad statement to give. A very sad statement to give in front of such a quorum, a place where a president is, and the president had acknowledged what had happened. It's very sad. Atwoli, if you lost any of your kids to abduction, would you say they abducted themselves? You may be giving people maybe those food, some money within your location. That is over December. But what are the rest gaining from your leadership? Yeah? If you look at the oppression that many workers are going through, deductions on salaries. Salaries should never be reduced. Salaries should be increased. And then if there is deductions, they be made on that. You can't reduce somebody's salary when you are not raising. Now look at teachers. Just one of the examples. Their salaries are reduced. Deductions are made every day. Somebody just finds money having been deducted. And it's done, and that is it. So what kind of life do you think they are living? Are they celebrating even the current regime? These are the things you should point out to the president and his government so that they look into the lives of Kenyans. And abductions, if they are happening, they are happening. Let's not say people abducting themselves to receive pay. If their bodies are being found, if you follow a lot of people and how they are saying, like today I listened to Jen Kihara in a funeral, And Jen Kiara was saying abductions are happening, and you better leave Gachagua out of this. He messed, and you did away with him. So should we keep blaming? Just like the, like before the government came in, it was about Uhuru, Uhuru, Uhuru. And now the Ruto came in with his government, and then they kept blaming Uhuru, Uhuru, Uhuru. Now the tune has changed. It's Gachagua, Gachagua. Let's stop these blame games. Huh? They cannot add value to us. For us Kenyans, what we want to see is that there is change, positive change, and you don't have to interchange. Yeah, people have to have respect. But why do people lose respect? I think because they are pressed with life. Most of these college students are suffering. Because if you don't come from a well-off family like you, as Atwoli's, let's say, Lucas family, let's say Wetangula's family, Mudavadi's family, Ruto's family, most people are suffering. I'm telling you. Even the parents cannot afford the fee. And even if they have been given some little bursary or whatever, it's not enough to fund for their upkeep and everything. And that's why they're like disillusioned and they feel like they should say whatever they have to say. It's not right, maybe some things that they do. Now, I told you are saying that in some countries they have banned social media. Would you say that you would really be up to, you would wish to be in such countries? These are not admirable countries. Now, let's turn and listen to what the governor of Trans Nzoia said.
Hata nikamtubia fedha akaenda hospitali.
What was wrong?
I gave him money. Niko na ndugu zangu katika hii familia, kina Fred, kina Tim ambaye ni marafiki zangu. Ile mambo ambayo tumekuwa tunapiga siasa is not personal. It's not personal. Na mimi nimekuja hapa kwa sababu speaker amempoteza mama. Na kifo inaweza kumpata mtu yeyote ile. Hatuwezi kuwa na mipaka kwa sababu ati ya siasa mtu anaomboleza alafu nakaa kando. Na yule ambaye anakuribi iko na umaskini wa hali ya juu sana. And I say this kwa sababu I've had the benefit of working in other parts of this republic. As you constitute this broad-based government, the biggest thing that should tax your mind is how, as the economy grows, how other people can also be included. How watu hapa chini pia kuwa included as we grow. Getting lost, they're being abducted, wengine wanauawa. That's the position. We should not cover up the basic truth. Hata rais mwenyewe amesema kwamba utasimamisha hii maneno. Tunataka mambo ya abduction nifanye nini? Ikwisha.
Sorry to cut this short, but from the rule at YouTube, you don't really place a whole clip from whichever section, social media and whatever. But from the little that you've just heard, and from the rest, if you can open the funeral itself, there was a long speech given by the governor. Now, NATEMBEYA first pointed out that he has come as part of this society, that being a governor, he cannot choose not to go to funerals. And I think this is where people misinterpreted when he said he helped. And I don't think he went there to brag, as Wetangula later was saying, Mwanamume bure and all that. And that if a man goes out and then comes back with some meat, even if they were helped, they wouldn't say so. You would interpret that in different ways, because if you don't say that, then it means you are not appreciative. And again, even your family should understand who is helping you. Whatever. According to Wetangula, it's wrong for someone to help you, then you come home and say you've been helped. Whatever it means, because we are in different generations. Even from what Atwoli was saying, that the KANU government, I don't think I would be happy to have such a government back. A dictatorial government. You read Wizards of Crow, and what you see there, it's all dictatorial. people disappearing. Yeah, very important people disappeared then. Yeah, we had so much, demoralization and lack of progress then. So you cannot just actually say that that was the government and it should be. Maybe Atul is saying that because he has become, a demagogue that has been in this union leadership forever. Now let's look at another person, Kimani Ichung'wah. Woi, Kimani Ichung'wah. Where will you stand even among the Kikuyu people and speak? Who goes to another person's land and speaks the way you did? Telling NATEMBEYA, shame on you. Shame on you over what? Over speaking about abductions. Abductions, everybody is complaining about that. And whether it's the government or whoever is doing it, it should stop. Because we have security, and the role of the security is to protect the people, not to kill them. And if people have disrespect, then they are better charged in court for whatever they do or whatever they say. It's not the right thing to have people following and abducting. Even today, as we speak, we've had again other people disappearing. Yeah, we've seen even homes which have been raided. Like there was this clergyman in is it Ruiru or where? He was almost being abducted, and DCI 8, is it indicated 8? DCI came over the gate, and then they wanted to jump over, which is very wrong, because why should they even go at night? Now, Kimani Ichung'wah, my question is, if you know that Gachagua is funding these abductions, why can't you trace him? And through these people that you and the security of Kenya is claiming they don't know who they are, why can't you trace him and charge him for that? Why should you keep telling us that it is Rigathi? We don't want to hear such. What we want is safety for people. And if you have young people who have become wrong users of social media, then let them be charged in court. Let them not disappear. Because if you connect 1 + 1 and find that they disappeared after this, then you can't even argue against whatever people are saying. And it is wrong to go talking about NATEMBEYA and saying that it's shame on you that when he was a commissioner of this region, Western region, there was abductions of Yala. Then what? During that time, we should have had people launching a complaint against him and taking him to court. Yeah. So now, should we now blame the current internal security or whatever region, wherever they disappear, and we say that they are behind such issues? It is a wrong reasoning or ideology, if I may say. Now, let me see about who else spoke about this. Because, of course, the president acknowledged that the abductions and they should end, which we appreciate. And we hope that it's not just a speech, but it will come to an end. But we were so disappointed in many of the leaders who turned that funeral into a battlefield, a place to respond. Now, WETANGULA. Instead of looking like you are bereaved, you looked like you are defending the government and you are standing a ground to fight with NATEMBEYA. And this battle should end. That is why most times they say lawyers cannot be leaders, because we are always there to fight each other. And if there is a forum you could sit together and talk, it should be any other. It shouldn't have been a funeral where you begin, like you are producing a whole queue of abuses and bringing down another person. Because I don't think when he said he helped, he wanted to brag. And people have different nature. If he just said, I've helped, and because he wanted to prove that he's not an enemy in this home for the people who are jeering. Otherwise, I'm so disappointed. Actually, very disappointed with what happened, and especially the discussions around abductions from Waluke, from Kimani Ichung'wah, and from this other man. Hey, the union leader at all. It was wrong. Because you have steered the country into, like you see what Selassie has said, Jen Kihara, even Gachagua himself, what he said. And we are wondering, will Gachagua be the talk of the government forever? They should forget about him and focus. Yeah, I think the president should now look at what should we do to end this. Boosting the economy of Western was a point that was very important from what NATEMBEYA said, but because in reality, that's one of the regions that is needs empowerment. There are people who don't have the right knowledge about progress, and there is this trap, like most of them have been trapped in a shadow, that they only want to borrow 10, 50, 100 from the leaders, but they cannot do something for themselves. So that empowerment, from whether it is from these companies, Mias, whether it's from Webuye, Mila, and any other company to be brought, and such empowerment. Yeah, even there are foreign jobs coming up. Let's see people going, and let's not have this fight. Like when you stand and begin to, defame another person in front of visitors, it looks very awkward. Yeah, that's for now. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, consider subscribing to it. And I hope that Kenya will change for the better, because that's what we want. We don't want anything to do with the retrogression. We don't want this aspect of selfish leaders who want to grow, have their kids abroad, while others are struggling even to finish high school, even primary school. That's not what we want. It's not what we want. Yeah, and we are not just there to defend the government or, make it look like it's not doing the best, but we are pushing it to do what we really wish should be, so that by the time Ruto gets out of government, we are saying, yeah, indeed, this is what he did for us. Let's not have a history of negative aspects like abductions and, those clashes. They are not worth. Yeah.